I was so focused on making sure that you guys were good and you guys were happy that I never checked myself, and my mental state admittedly has deteriorated for admittedly quite a while now.
Disclaimer, I know my voice sounds a little different from normal, and no, it's not because I have that, and I know some real funny people in the comments are already saying, "Ha, you sound like you've been sucking some big cock." I have a cold, so my voice sounds a little different from normal. Alright, with that out of the way, let's get into this. Alright, so because my last video on Minilad did super well,
so good!
Since a lot more info has come out on Minilad's current situation, and because I found some very shitty things Minilad has done in the past, I figured that I might as well make another video on him. Now I know that Keemstar telling Minilad he couldn't play Minecraft seemed like a major punishment already.
Minilad, you don't get to play Minecraft anymore.
But sadly, it wasn't enough. Before we get into this, I would like to apologize to Lucius Moroncelli. I can't say your fucking name, I'm sorry. And also for unpinning your comment. You predicted what Minilad would do, and that was impressive. So because I feel bad for unpinning your comment, I feel like the only reasonable thing to do is to just give you a shout out. Guys, go subscribe to him. Also, if you guys could, please leave a like on this video, subscribe to my channel, and share this video because it helps the channel grow, and also, there is a good possibility that YouTube might flag this video for hateful content because YouTube supports pedophiles. A YouTuber named Diesel Patches, you know, that guy I caught buying kids, made a vid about Minilad, and it got flagged for hateful content. Now, I'm gonna leave a link in the description of the video because I feel bad it got flagged, and also, it was a good vid. In addition to that, he's the big gay, and I'm scared he'll turn me gay. So yeah, don't be surprised if this video gets flagged because YouTube supports pedophiles on their website.
Minilad sent a PV pic to a minor.
To begin with, let's talk about how Minilad treated one of his old friends, Terrorizer. Before Minilad was a pedo, he used to be in a gaming group with Vanoss, Terrorizer, and a bunch of other people. However, when Vanoss got the biggest following, Minilad decided to split off and do his own thing, which I don't have a problem with. I'm not gonna shit on him for it, because I mean, look where he is now. Everyone in the group was fine with it. Mini left on good terms until one night when Minilad, Terrorizer, and I Am Wildcat were all in an Uber in LA. And I know what you guys are thinking. No, just because it's an Uber doesn't mean Minilad raped Terrorizer, okay? Remember guys, Minilad likes mini lads. Oh, and also there was no rape. While in the Uber, Wildcat decided to make jokes about Minilad's car accident, and Minilad was fine with it. Now, because Minilad was fine with it, Terrorizer decided to make some jokes too. Terrorizer then proceeded to, from what I can tell, annoy Minilad for the rest of the night. Later on, Terrorizer got the vibe that he was annoying Minilad, so because of that, he decided to leave Minilad's house, and Minilad never told Terrorizer that he was annoyed by the jokes he was making. On the next day, the group decided to get dinner together. Minilad was the one who made the reservations. Minilad invited everyone except Terrorizer and Terrorizer's girlfriend. Basically, I do work, another person in the group, let Terrorizer know that he was excluded by Minilad. After hearing this, Terrorizer decided to confront Minilad, and Minilad was upset about how Terrorizer was behaving that one night, the one where he was annoying Mini, so Mini decided to prevent him from seeing friends. Now, what's shitty about this is that his friends in the gaming group all live in different countries, so they all never get to see each other that often. Now, Terrorizer did admit that he would have apologized if Mini brought this to his attention. Yeah, if Minor Lad wasn't being so petty, this whole thing would not have happened. And I get that Terrorizer was acting like an ass, but remember, Mini Lad didn't tell Terrorizer to stop, and Minor Lad just let it happen. If you're ever offended or annoyed by what your friend is doing or saying, I think it's pretty much a universal fact that you let them know, and once they know, they'll stop doing whatever it is they're doing. But no, instead, Peeny Lad decided to be a snake. Since Mini had no excuse for what he did, he of course decided to make up excuses for himself. Mini said that he hasn't been himself because he lost his dog recently, but then Terrorizer responded to him by telling him that he lost his dad recently. But that's still not an excuse to treat your friends like shit. A guy who lost his dad is handling this better than a guy who lost his dog. Just think about that. I get that losing a pet is bad, but losing a parent is worse. So yeah, Minnie has really no excuse, because Terrorizer is acting composed after losing a parent, while Minilad is not after losing an animal. Minnie then decided to say that he's making fun of his mental state. Oh wow, where have we seen Minnie do that before?
My mental state.
And then Terrorizer tells him to leave him alone, and they both just walk away. Later on, they both had a little Twitter scuffle, and if you're expecting me to read the entire argument, well, guess what? I'm not Boblax, so I'm not gonna do that. And in the scuffle, Minilad tried to put words in Terrorizer's mouth to make him look bad. So yeah, he basically tried to make Terrorizer look really bad publicly by manipulating his fans. What a fucking asshole. Which led to Terrorizer responding to Minilad, obviously. And then in the fight, they both confirmed what happened in LA. Minilad also lied to his friend Dyth to Nogla, or sorry, former friend. But Nogla called him out on his bullshit, so yeah. Good for Nogla. So to summarize it, Craig Touch Kid Ass got annoyed and offended over a joke, and instead of telling Terrorizer to stop or that he was getting annoyed by the jokes, Minnie decides to stay quiet, and then he prevented Terrorizer from seeing friends he doesn't get to see in person a lot. So yeah, Minilad was completely in the wrong in this situation. There's no excuse for what he did despite how many he tried to make on Twitter. Also, Terrorizer released a twit-long, which I'll leave in the description for you all to check out. So yeah, I don't want to see any Minilad fanboys in the comments saying, "Oh, but Terrorizer big mean to Minnie." Oh wait, I forget. You can't really type when you have your hands firmly grasping Craig's pee-pee, and if Minnie admitting to doing that to his friend wasn't enough for you to take Terrorizer's side, then there's even more proof to believe Terrorizer over Minnie. Take a look at this clip from a stream Terrorizer did where the situation was brought up, and when it was brought up, people started to ask why Minilad doesn't play with you guys anymore, and Terrorizer said that,
"Why isn't Craig in the server? Because he doesn't play with us anymore. He went off and left us, and then started bad-mouthing us, so he doesn't play with us anymore. You can't have it every way. So we play with people who have not left our chat. We have a chat, he left it, and he doesn't want to play with us. That's a question for him, not us. Why not invite Minnie? I'll tell you why. He doesn't play with us. He left. And then he decided on stream to badmouth myself and my friends. Well, mainly just my friends. And I didn't appreciate that. So, I don't play with the guy lately. Because he's going on his meme streams talking shit about us. It's not cool. So, that's why. Alright? He left the group to do his own thing. That's it. I don't understand why some people find it so hard to understand. He left the group. He wanted to do his own thing. We were cool with that. We respected that. But I don't get why you leave a group and then talk shit about the group. We didn't kick you out, man. That's why. Alright? There you go. Just being straight with you. I'm not gonna bullshit you. That's it. Alright? I wish him all the best. But I don't like people who talk shit about my friends. I used to play with a group called Good Griefing. I was a huge fan of Good Griefing. They had about, let's say, 100,000 subs, which was huge at the time. I outgrew the group. I never at any point turned my back on them, talked shit about any of the members that were in there. There were some people that I wasn't huge fans of, but I never disrespected or talked shit about them. I love Kyle, crazy filmmaker, who is the owner. Too Fast for Seth LeBlanc, who I'm still very close with, one of my best friends. I never forget the people that helped me. They gave me a platform for me to grow. And I never forget what they gave to me. An opportunity to grow and to show my art of video making, expose my videos to their viewers, and I grew. I never talk shit to that. So that's what I'm saying, alright? But whatever. Some people are different. That's it.
In these clips, he's calm and actually confident in what he's saying. He also talks about good griefing, and considering all the people in good griefing never said Terrorizer talk shit about them, this pretty much gives me more of a good reason to believe in Terrorizer over Menstrual Lad. But hey, let's hear what Mini Lynch has to say.
I need to make sure I get these tight corners. I'm about to lap someone.
I'm a huge fan of your work. Keep it up. The only thing I want to ask is how come you don't play with Vinos Gaming?
Wow. Because I don't play Gmod anymore. That's all he does. Question done. I'm also breaking off into a solo YouTuber because it's a lot more fun. Gmod? Damn. After all this time, they're still playing Gmod? I mean, they kicked me out of all their chat, so I have no idea what the hell they're doing, so. They're still, damn! I wasn't kicked. Oh my god, alright. So, just to clear up any drama, I'm going off and doing my own thing. And then I saw her face! Alright, just to clear up some shit, I wasn't kicked. All they did was play Fortnite and Gmod and then talk shit about other YouTubers, so I said, fuck that. I broke away from that group. I'm doing my own thing. I've never felt better. My community's stronger than ever. I'm pulling more views than ever, and I'm personally a lot.
Not only do we see him insult Vanoss, one of his friends, we also see him flat out lie about being kicked. Terrorizer proved that Mini is a liar even more by basically telling everyone he never talks shit about any YouTubers. In addition to being a liar, Mini is also a backstabber for what he did to Terrorizer on that night of the dinner, and a hypocrite, since Mini talked shit about one of his friends, then had the gall to say, "Oh, I have problem with them talk shit about other tuber." Later on, Mini then proceeded to say that Terrorizer was starting rumors about Mini hating his old friends. He talked shit about his old friends multiple times. He can't call them rumors if they're true. Later on, after all that shit he did to Terrorizer, Minilad had the gall, and I'll show you Terrorizer's response, to say this.
Brian, we're figuring things out. You know, we talked backstage at Evan's show and we shook hands and we're gonna work on it. So like, you know, I miss the dude and it's good to see things coming together.
So yeah, I don't particularly want to work with the guy. I know he made a video saying we're patching things up, which is not true. I feel like he says things in order to kind of get flack off of his back.
Brian, we're figuring things out.
So yeah, Minilad just flat out lied again on stream to his viewers. I'm not surprised.
Wasn't kicked.
With all that in mind, Mini seems like a pretty shit friend. Actually, nah, not just a shit friend. This adds to the weight of why he's a shit human being. Man, I wouldn't mind watching Terrorizer beat the shit out of Minilad. Fuck, I'd join in with him.
I think it's time for him to retire.
Have you guys ever wondered what Minilad is like in a relationship? With someone his own age, of course. Now, when it comes to what Minilad did to his ex, he didn't like Chris Brown her for all we know. Instead, he, wanna take a guess? He was manipulative towards her. Who would have guessed? Through a series of tweets made by Minilad's ex, Sammy revealed that her relationship with Craig was toxic, that he was manipulative towards her, and a liar. Honestly, if Mini was Pinocchio, I think his nose would be fully grown and up Geppetto's rectum. I didn't watch the right Pinocchio growing up. Anyways, after seeing these tweets without his little secret police, we'll get into that, he messaged Sammy asking her to take down the tweets. Sammy kept the tweets up and blocked Pablo. Sorry, I mean Minilad. After that, Minor Lad decided to message all her friends asking if they could tell Sammy to take down the tweet. Now, because Sammy has friends that don't give her the Minilad friend treatment, they basically tell him to fuck off. After this, Sammy then decided to release some text between her and Craig, touch kid ass, to give us an idea of what he did to her. Now, to summarize these messages, she stated that Minnie tried to break up with her because she called him out on a lie. I'm pretty sure him lying is more common than ventilators in hospitals right now. Minor Lie then responded by saying, "Nah, it's not," and he says some shit about how he hasn't been happy at all, and it must have been because she wasn't 15. Who knows? She then suggested therapy for Minnie, and Minnie said, "Yes, that sounds like a great idea." Probably thought it would be in Northern Ireland. There, happy comments. Later on, when she talks about scheduling an appointment, he probably realized that this was happening in America. So he said this: "I lied so you'd take me seriously. When you get home, we'll sort this." "Yes, with a therapist," she responds. "I don't want a therapist. You said it was a good idea before." That's when I had a bit of hope left in this relationship. Let's not do this now. I'm not breaking up with you over text. Now, after that, Minor Lie went to bed, then Sammy later texted someone saying that her and Peeny Lie had another fight over therapy. Eventually, the two broke up, and by what we saw in the relationship, you would think, wow, Minnie is a shit boyfriend, and that Sammy probably never wanted to see him again, hence probably one of the reasons why Sammy moved back to Minnesota. Funny thing was, Minnie in his Why I Left video said they were on good terms. Oh my Allah, at this point he's producing more lies than humans have CO2. Eventually though, after Sammy released these tweets, 2 other girls decided to release their experiences with Minilad, and I think you know where I'm going with this, and what I'm gonna talk about.
People are defending him for showing his PP.
This entire situation showed that Pablo wasn't a character all along.
Pablo was not a very good man. He liked to have sex with small children.
And also, thank God people haven't found the kids in my basement yet. Wait a minute, I already covered what he did with the minors in a previous video, link in the description, but I'm gonna go over it again, just to introduce some new viewers to what he did. Before we get into this, I want to remind everyone that Minilad confessed to soliciting minors. Okay, with that out of the way, let's talk about this. About a month ago, 2 girls, one named Ash and the other Haley, each released a twit-long talking about their experiences with Minnie. Now, I'm not gonna read the twit-longs because that would take forever, so I'm only gonna go over the creepy stuff he did to them. I'll leave a link in the description so you guys can read it for yourself. Let's start with Ash. At the time she was talking to Minilad, she was 17 years old, which in the US is a child by law. While talking with Minnie one day, the topic of virginity came up in conversation. Minnie then decided to ask her if he could take her virginity, and when she went to California, where the age of consent is 18, Craig asked if she could come over to his house to have sex with him. Now, they didn't have sex when she was in California, thank God, but later on Minnie ended up asking the girl for nudes. She complied and sent him nudes, both photos and videos, while she was 17 and in the US. Now in the US, even in states where the age of consent is 16, it's illegal for anyone to ask a person under the age of 18 to send or have nudes of someone under the age of 18. The reason why it's illegal is because if it's a naked picture of anyone under the age of 18, it's child pornography, and it's also considered that too in the UK. Just thought I'd throw that in. And since Minilad technically possessed child pornography, that being nude pictures of a 17-year-old, was the adult in that situation, knew that she was a minor, and he admitted that all of what those 2 girls said was true, he can spend years behind bars in the US. However, since he decided to go to the UK, he could 5 years behind bars in the UK, since what Minilad did was also illegal in the UK. But since the crime was committed on US soil, he would probably be extradited to the US and go to prison in the US. So yeah, Minnie, you better prepare your ass, cause the people in prison don't have many lads in their pants. Anyways, after Ash sent those nudes, Minilad and her started talking less. Later on, she decided to tell her friends what happened, and they wanted her to come forward with what he did to her. At the time, she didn't, because she wanted to protect Minnie's girlfriend at the time. But that didn't stop Minnie's KGB agents, some of his mods, from doing his dirty work. His little secret police started messaging Ash and her friends to keep quiet by spitting this type of crap out. Oh, he has changed, and that this isn't worth ruining his career over. These mods are attracted to Craig's pee-pee so bad that they look past pedophilia and defend Minilad. Dang, these guys must be sewn to Minilad's Minilad. Nah, but seriously, these mods are garbage, and I hope they end up like how I imagine Craig in prison. If you're wondering, Craig in my imagination is dropping the soap constantly. Moving on to Haley's twit-long, she was 16 at the time she was talking to Minilad. I guess with Craig, when it's the minier the lad, it's the better. She talks about how Minnie would tell her about how he would get erections for his ex-girlfriend, which yeah, not really an appropriate conversation to have with a kid. Then when she made a joke about Craig having a small pee-pee, he decided to respond by sending her an image of his bulge in his boxers. After that though, they still talked to each other. Later on, when Ash was talking to Haley, she told Haley that she might come forward about what happened to her. Haley, manipulated by Minilad at the time, told her not to and defended Minilad. Now, in a conversation between Minnie and Haley, Ash was brought up, and Minnie lied to Haley about what happened with Ash by saying, "Oh, I never talked to her. She lied to me, and she told me she was 18. However, after that, Haley did some digging, and she found out that not only did Ash tell Minilad that she was 17, but she found out that Minilad lied to her. After finding that out, Minnie told Haley that he did lie to Haley, and that he did do that to Ash. Now, he said he did this because he wanted to still be friends, but when Haley looks back on it now, it seems like he was just doing that to save his career, which that was probably 99.9% the reason why he did that. Now, when Minnie and and Sammy got together, Haley told Minilad he should tell Sammy about the creepy things he did to minors, and he said he would. However, he then texted her by saying that he wouldn't later on, and he never told Sammy. Haley was the one who ended up telling Sammy what he did to minors, and she told her after Minnie and Sammy broke up. Finally, Haley then went on to talk about how Minilad would manipulate her into not exposing him for being a pedo, and he did this by implying he would kill himself if anyone did expose him for being a pedo, and he would also do that to anyone else who knew. That is just disgusting. The fact that he would use suicide as a weapon against people to prevent them from telling the truth is just sick. Now, there are going to be some Minilad sperm cells. I would call them fetuses, but fetuses start developing a brain saying, oh, those girls knew what they were doing, so it's not wrong. To those people, I say, well, Craig was the adult. He knew what he was doing was wrong and inappropriate because of the fact he tried to prevent them from coming forward, and he still did it. Also, minors aren't old enough to make proper decisions, especially minors that were manipulated. So yeah, this excuse doesn't work at all for anyone, especially Minilad. Another argument you'll hear from the Peeny Lard fans is that, oh, the age of consent in other countries is 16, so that makes it okay, which that is very stupid logic. Oh, officer, you can't arrest me because the age of consent in Yemen is 9. So after all those twitlongs were released, the girls also released some evidence, which I will show you.
I got the plug in the city.
Trippy mixtape.
We be moving hella weight like some bodybuilders. Can't fix your career, you need Bob the Builder. Messing with them girls, but they all be underage. Someone get this pedo monster in a motherfucking cage.
Playing all these games, man, you big geeking. Now you freaking, now your shit is leaking. On the snap with little girls and you streaking. She said you were picky, so please put your feet in. Tearing up when you be tweeting. Mistakes happen, can't delete them.
Post an MC vids, but we ain't watching those. How many girls do you be sexing shit no one knows? Apologizing on Twitter like we finna care. Like what the hell did you do to your motherfucking hair?
Career's still going, but it's going down the wrong path. On my raft, turn the psychopath into aftermath. You wanna fuck, but all she wants your autograph. You the only creeper I see blowing up off Minecraft. You think you're safe, cause a little bit of time's passed. Void gang, Keemstar, now we on your fucking ass. Hella cases, catch them all, so I'll call your ass. Pull up to your server, it's a bloodbath.
Minilad, hella sad, going out really bad. Got exposed, finna lose, dude just made it on the news. Career going down, call that shit a rap. Next time you make a decision, think before you act.
Hey, stop laughing at this shit is serious. Straight out the volcano, feeling hot, I'm feeling igneous. Acting family friendly, but then you be acting hideous. In the DMs asking for news, but you insidious. Think about the parents, man, they must be furious. You like H2O if you win it.
Shots of these stuff just because I don't want to hear it anymore. These are not photoshopped. You can clearly see these are RDMs, as well as here, where I showed some screenshots of these stuff too. And just like right here, it was not photoshopped. That this is his verified Twitch. Like, if you open it up through a link, it's gonna go straight to his Twitch. It's him, not made up. I wouldn't do that. Like, I don't even think you can change messages on here. Only delete, I could be wrong. And I'm gonna say, first off, like, the whole Twitter things, it took a lot of scrolling up to get up to where he said the things, so I would happily refresh, but I really don't want to pass through, like, personal shit that I don't really want you guys to see, because it's none of really anybody's business. But I hope at least proving it on Discord is enough, because I'd like to just, yeah. No way I can edit this as I am scrolling up. Scrolling up still. And this is where I pretty much showed screenshots of these things. So yeah, there you go. I refreshed, everything still there. Yeah. Bye, I guess.
So with all that stuff posted, Weenie Lard did end up coming forward and he confessed to soliciting minors on Twitter. He went on a month-long hiatus after that for what he did, and he probably wanted some time to watch Cuties and examine every scene in it. During that time he was gone, Sammy, Ash, and Haley were harassed by some of Minilad's fans, even though Craig told them not to harass them. That probably was because of how vague his confession is. Yeah, looking back on his confession, it was vague. While he did admit, basically, that yeah, these girls are telling the truth and that I did everything they said I did in their twitlongs, he never specified or gave any examples of what he did to them. He only said that it was unacceptable. Like, take this for example. He didn't say something like, I am am most sorry for sending my bulge to a minor. I think if the confession wasn't so vague, I don't think as many people in his fan base would be sucking his pee-pee. Now, after that month-long hiatus, Minnie decided to come back to YouTube. I also made a video on that, which you can find in the description, but I'm still going to tell you what he did. Now, instead of uploading an apology video, which he should have done, I know what some of his remaining fans are thinking. Oh, but he apologized for what he did on Twitter. Well, considering a majority of his fans follow him on YouTube, I think all his fans should know, but I guess Minnie can't let a majority of his fans know that he's a pedo. Instead of an apology vid, he uploaded a Minecraft video with the first 5 minutes talking about why he has been gone. In these 5 minutes, Minilad didn't take responsibility for what he did, he ignores the real reason why he has been gone for a month, and he blames all his problems on mental illness. He also said he was getting a therapist. Considering the fact that he lied to his fans multiple times, and he lied to his ex about wanting to get a therapist, I believe Minilad is lying to them again. After that vid was released, Haley made a video about Craig basically revealing how much of a liar he is, and I'll leave a link in the description so you guys can check it out. Along with that, another minor manipulated by Minnie came forward by the name of Laura. Laura talked about how, with evidence, that Minnie manipulated her into giving him info on the situation with Ash and Haley so he can pretty much think of ways to cover his ass for what he did. Now, Laura did what he asked because, like every other minor Minnie has talked to, he manipulated her into doing what he wanted by using his mental health as a weapon. On top of that, he had to disable his Discord server because, according to him, it was because of raids. And yes, that is a lie told by Craig. The real reason was because people were calling him out for what he did on his own server, so he shut his server down. One person that confirmed he was lying about his Discord server and what he was saying was Laura, who got banned from the server by saying, "I can't believe people still support you after what you did." Now, another mod by the name of Tay also got banned, and she was able to leave with proof. Proof of what, you ask? Well, I will tell you. Minilad doesn't care about what he did to those people he harmed, and we also found out the real reason he left for a month, and he said it himself. Once people realize that the majority don't care / don't know, and brands keep working with me, it'll die faster. He wanted people to forget about what he did. He never was sorry for what he did to those minors at all, and he only left for a month so people would forget about the whole situation. Wow, I hope you rot in hell, Craig. In addition to that, it was revealed that Craig made his confession, the one on Twitter, vague on purpose. Again, I think if it wasn't a vague confession, I don't think as many of his fans would be this pee-pee sucky for him. Finally, along with all this new info that came out, we also got Minilad talking about why he shouldn't be deplatformed for what he did. And when I heard this, I laughed so hard that I had to steal a ventilator from a that patient in order to breathe again. Minilad thinks he shouldn't be deplatformed because it could ruin millions of lives and potentially kill people. I hate to break it to you, but you're a reaction / gaming channel. You're very much replaceable. If your channel were to get deleted, people would probably be sad at first for like a couple of days, and then they would move on to a new channel to watch. Also, another mod came forward and revealed that Minilad was banning certain words in his Discord server. So adds the fact that he doesn't want anyone else in his fan base knowing what he did.
If you leave a comment defending Minilad, then you also probably like kids.
He said he is getting help for his issues. You can't be too hard on him, you bully. And also, he had a mental issues, so it's not his fault that he did the stuff he did.
Okay, fine, I'm cool, I'm fine.
While mental health is a serious issue, Minnie can't use it as an excuse. Look, when it comes to Minnie, in the past, he doesn't get help or try to seek out help for his mental issues. In fact, when someone tried to help him, that being Sammy, he refused it. He had also lied to his fans about getting therapy before, so I wouldn't be shocked if he's lying now. Not only that, but he also used those issues, knowing he had them, to manipulate people into doing what he wants. He can't use mental health as an excuse for what he did. Minilad is nothing but a lying, manipulative pedo that doesn't care if he lies and manipulates to his friends, significant others, and his viewers. If he cared about his friends, he wouldn't have done what he did to terrorize her or talk shit about Vanoss behind his back. If he cared about his significant other, he wouldn't have not only gone to therapy, he would have also not lied to her and manipulate her. And finally, if he cared about his fans, he wouldn't be constantly lying to them, manipulating them into feeling sorry for him, and he wouldn't have especially solicited minors in his fan base. That is just sick and disgusting. I think Minilad should get deplatformed because unlike Onision, who I also think should be deplatformed, Mini doesn't deny what he did. Minilad admitted on Twitter that he solicited minors. What's even more frustrating about this is that YouTube does have the time and energy to take down his channel, but instead they would rather use that time to take down Leafy for no reason. Yeah guys, apparently YouTube thinks pedophiles on their website is okay, but commentary videos are not. In conclusion, I hope Minilad loses his platform and gets put in a jail where they chemically castrate pedophiles.